What is up? Welcome back to Drummers on Drumming, a podcast powered by Big Fat Snare Drum. We're back with another installment of the Drum Panel, and this week we have me, Ben Hilzinger, my trusted co-host, Eric Urrea, and one of my favorite people, I know you love him too, Joe Lana, aka the Cowboy Drummer. I've wanted to get him on the show for a while. His humor and his affability are very infectious. And so today we talk about why creators struggle to accept compliments. It's a big issue. The trap of overthinking content creation, balancing, in our case, comedy, drumming, and self-worth online. When do we feel like drummers and when do we feel like imposters, both live and in the world? And the subtle art of both playing soft and why grip debates are overrated. So please enjoy this conversation. We deep dive into all these. This is just very clickbaity intro, show notes, words. Bye. I wanted to talk to you guys about how you take compliments, because I've been going to this coffee shop in LA recently, and there's this guy that's been there almost every day at about the same time to do work. And we were in this line together, fourth day in a row we were there, and he saw that I was wearing my Drummers on Drumming book bag thing the reason why I have it is because when I was giving the thank you cards for the book, if I spent an extra $12, I could get free shipping on whatever. So I got this tote bag. Anyways, so I was sitting in line and he's like, hey, so you have a drummers podcast? And immediately I was just like, well, yeah, I mean, it's just a thing. I just, I had to get this because of the shipping thing. And that's not even necessarily, he was giving me a compliment right off the bat, but it was something that he was trying to engage with me. That was something I worked so hard on. Literally, I was actually at the coffee shop, was going to work on stuff for the podcast. So like, why do I, separate it from myself? Do you guys still deal with that? Or is that just 100% a me thing?
Oh, dude, I definitely relate to that, especially like being a content creator. And it's almost like when I remember being in a band when I was like 13 years old, and I didn't want to tell my friends like the band name because I didn't want them to think it was like stupid or something. I'm all stoked. But yeah, no, that's very relatable for me, dude. I'm an introvert, so I don't even like to interact with people. So the minute they're complimenting me talking, I just don't even want to be a part of it. So maybe it's that.
It's for the same reason I hate opening presents in front of people. It's just like when I know that there's this dynamic of I need to have a reaction or do a certain thing or give me the hell away.
There's so much like stigma with these specific things too. Oh, you have your own podcast, or even like, oh, you're a musician. Exactly. The next question is going to be like, can you show me something? You want to just bust out a song right now? I would rather run out of this building.
It's like putting a singer on the spot.
Yeah,
Sing.
exactly.
Tell me a joke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
Oh, you're
Are
a
you
comedian.
Funny?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you actually good at drums?
Yeah. Well, Joe, have you ever, since your rise to fame, have you done like PASIC or something or been in a drum-centric area where you've been like, I just don't want to be recognized right now?
Dude, kind of. I went to NAMM recently. That's the only thing I've done in terms of all the drum shows. I just missed the Nashville one. I want to go to more, but part of me is kind of, dude, it's funny you even brought all this up because I am kind of not embarrassed. I don't know what the word is, bro. Embarrassed, probably,
Well, I think it's also you associate so much of who you are with that thing that if they say, I don't like it, what they're saying is they don't like you. This is in my head. And so I have to distance myself from it first so then they can criticize it. And I'm like, I know, totally. It's this thing I do. It's a shield.
Well, I also wonder if like the separation from the audience plays a part in that too, where it's different where if you're playing a show and someone comes up to you afterwards, but to me, sometimes it feels like doing a podcast or when you post on social media, you just kind of send it out into this mythical void and people somewhere hear it and you never really have that one-on-one exchange with people. And then when you do, you're like, oh crap.
Well, Joe, what was the first video that you were really like, this could either be so stupid or I think it's funny, and then it kind of was like, oh shit, people resonated with this?
Oh man, dude, there's been so many. One of the first one is probably the snare player video where I just played the snare drum.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that one, I was like, this could either be great or people are just going to be like, get the hell out of here, dude.
Were you at a show and you saw like the tambourine player, which whenever I see one, I'm like, that is the coolest member of the band. How does that stuff come to your fucking brain?
Dude, a lot of it is shit like that. Like I'll see a certain video, but it'll be in a different realm. Like it'll be like a cooking video or something. Not anything in drums or music, but I'll spin it or take inspiration, you know? But with that one specifically, dude, I think I just thought of it. I just was like, yeah, I'm about to play the snare and have a guy just rocking out with the snare. And then from there, I was thinking of what tune should it be to where I landed on What If by Creed. So
Yeah.
it's just like perfect. Dude, we have a very similar sense of humor on the internet because all your memes and all the things we send each other ideas and we're always like in the similar realm. It's hilarious.
I'm not sure if you guys both experienced this with like drumming as well, but it's always the videos that you really work on and craft. For me in the meme world, or for you, the skit, I craft the perfect thing, and that's the one that tanks. And the one that I do as I'm like about to go to sleep, I wake up and it's gone viral. There's a lesson to be learned there somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe you guys have a point to that.
I use that. That's a very real, true thing. I don't know why. I asked myself why, but it's true across the board for everyone. And once I learned that early on, I harnessed that. There's so many content creators that are filming like really great stuff and like high quality. I'm using whatever, there's a smudge on the camera. It's low quality. It's not the best quality content because I harnessed that idea of like, who cares? Like just make it real quick. I'll do one take. If I'm playing on a frying pan, I do not care if I have my ghost notes sounding good. I'll just do one take, literally record it, post it. Cause those are the ones that do well. It's crazy. It's like clockwork though.
You are such a stealth great drummer too. I mean, you definitely have videos where you're just playing, but a lot of times the joke is the joke, but the kind of sizzle underneath that makes it taste good is the fact that there's like a really cool drumming groove underneath this comedy thing over here.
That's cool. Yeah, that's like what I was going for, man. A lot of when you just play drums and do something cool, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't really get views. So that's why I mess around and then I sprinkle in some of my playing so I can kind of do both. But I appreciate the compliment, man. Yeah, I think I suck, dude, but that's another thing you could talk about. Everyone thinks they suck.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, for both of you guys, how do you balance the meme funny stuff with actual serious stuff that you may be trying to promote? Like, I don't know, Joe, if you even think of your social media as sort of a means to like, or a vessel of getting gigs, is that even a factor for you, or is it just like a fun outlet?
It's really just a fun outlet, don't care kind of thing. And then once it started, making connections with like serious, like, earning a little money, doing brand deals and making connections, I kind of kept that in mind to where like, I don't want to be too inappropriate on this front or whatever. But ultimately that stuff hurts you. You got to just do what you feel. And social media is really impulsive too. That's the other thing. It's great for just impulsive posts and actions, so if you stick true to that, you ultimately get more of the connections and more of the brand deals. So yeah, that's a good question. I think about that stuff though. I don't know about Ben. Might be a little different. His take on that might be being the business side of it.
Yeah, the big fat snare drum especially, it's just to sell product. And we actually laugh sometimes how little we actually talk about our product on our page. But I mean, it's all whatever. Same with this podcast. This is free for anyone listening. And I love doing it. But the memes, the podcast is all just to make people go, oh, big fat snare drum. They give a shit about the drum community. They're good dudes, which we try to be. So.
Yeah. And you guys are a staple in the community. And every drummer knows big fat snare drum. It's a hit, so it's like super cool. You guys have such a dope presence in the drumming community. Now that I'm really thinking of it, if more brands did that and just got down to earth a bit more, people love that shit, dude. I do, and I know I see it in real time. I mean, I don't know. You guys harness that a little bit, and it works, I feel like, so that's cool.
Well, I think you guys are also great examples of that. Because Eric, with your actually the genesis of this show essentially was your controversial drum takes on your Instagram stories, which you get very vulnerable. You get to know Eric through those. You're very you. And then Joe, with you, you've talked about everything you've gone through. You've been very, very public about struggles. And then also just your videos they're funny because we fall in love with you. And then you're just this great drummer. You guys found a way to make it all work in the context of your personalities and then played drums. I think that's why, similar with Big Fat Snare Drum, it's like, I love that compliment because we just found a way that it matches our energy, and then that's how we can promote ourselves.
There you go. You got to separate, because everyone can play. Dude, everyone's good. There's always a kid who's like, who's this kid now? Who's just absolutely insane.
Damn it.
Like, goodness, dude, they just don't stop. Everyone can play fast. Everyone can play good. You will get lost in that mix. You need something that's going to separate you, like some Dan Mayo, like how he separated himself with his own sound.
Right.
A lot of guys, there's a lot of guys doing cool shit like that. And I chose the comedy kind of route, but I like when brands do that, man. Like Pearl Drums Europe, dude. Shout out to Pearl Drums Europe. Follow that page on Instagram, because you'll see what I mean. They make like funny, fun, cool stuff. Like they're hilarious.
That's awesome, dude.
I had to shout that out real quick, because more brands need to start doing that.
Yeah, and then some people need to stop doing certain things on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
ruining themselves,
And that's always gonna happen, brother.
Yeah.
That's a revolving door. It's like a plank, and people are just one after the other face diving.
Doesn't look that high. There you go. Joe, we ask any kind of new drum panel guest, what is one piece of gear throughout history, doesn't have to be drum gear necessarily, that you would want to have in your possession?
Oh man, okay, you know what? It doesn't have to be drums, but you know what? It's gonna be something drums. I want the first ever hi-hat. Like the one that's like a wedge, and it's like two cymbals, and it sits on the ground. You might even like have to tie your foot to the thing, and then you just clap the pedals. Like an old rusty vintage one though. Just lived out its life. I'm trying, brother. Oh, that's there. Then you hit it.
Don't
it's like
tighten me too hard. Yeah. When you hit the hi, it just goes.
Like dust flies out.
Yeah, just a cloud.
Rust dust. Jesus.
Dude, if we make a band, it has to be called Rust Dust.
That's a great dude, for real. An album, at least.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
All right, Joe. Well, second question. If you could be a fly on a wall of any record, where, why, when, who, how, what?
It's going to be Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. Put me there in 2000, what are we, 2002 perhaps?
Yeah,
when
I would say
that?
2, yeah.
I'm in.
All right? Put me there in that room. Probably in like LA. I don't know. John Otto on the drums. Yeah, that's the one for me. And you know what, dude? Remember when we did the 5-album rundown thing?
Yeah, My Generation.
Oh, that was the one I said. Okay.
That's the Matthews Bridge, right?
That is the Matthews Bridge. Yeah.
Who the hell is Matthew? Who is, honestly, do you guys know?
No.
Matthews Bridge.
That's not even the bridge of the song.
No.
It's like the intro.
You took him there way too quick. What's a non-career win that means more than any gig you've had?
That's a good one, dude. That's an easy one for me, because as a lot of people know, as I talk about often, way back in the day, over 12 years ago now, is when I actually like turned my life around. But I used to be into a lot of bad shit. I was doing drugs. I was in and out of jail. I was in the system, in the courts, right? I was like doing all that sketchy shit. Yeah, the fact that I was able to like kind of turn my life around, emerge out of that, and make something of myself is, I mean, that's the win for me, without a doubt. And the fact that my pops got to see me break out of that life too before he passed away. But he didn't get to see me do what I'm doing now, or else that would be the win. But life be like that sometimes, man. And I'm happy that I got to go through it. And that's honestly, it made me, it's so much better, like viewing life and going through challenges, knowing that I went through that. So it's ultimately good. It's the biggest win I could possibly ever imagine, just getting through all that bullshit, man. Another thing I want to add on that is, like, when I was an addict, dude, I worked so hard at trying to feed my addiction. And every other addict I know, like, you don't take no for an answer. Of course, you're doing illegal things to get by, and you're stealing and you're trying to, get money. But at the end of the day, you are going to get your drugs because you're an addict. And if addicts took that drive and put it towards something good, they would literally be unstoppable. Bro, they're the hardest working people to get their drug. Replace drug with goal. I mean, forget it. It's like, it honestly instilled work ethic and instilled a good mindset in me. I would obviously never recommend anyone go down that road, but damn, I learned a lot of good things from it, man. As you hear in a lot of life lessons of people going to prison for a long time, turning their life around. You put me in the darkest room and I'll look for a light somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
So good things come out of it. The silver lining. There you go. I'm getting cliche with all these things, Ben. Jesus.
Sorry, but I bring it out of myself too, so don't
Birds
worry.
of a feather flock together.
Have you ever thought about being a motivational speaker, or is that like something you would be embarrassed if someone came up to a coffee shop and said?
I know, right? Here we go. Dude, I have thought about that. I would love to do that.
For the money, I mean. For the money.
Yeah, right. Sign up for my program, all right? If you get your friends to sign up. No, I'm just kidding. That's hilarious. No, but dude, I really would do that. Hell, I would do it for free, man. I ought to do more videos like that because I know I can reach more people and I want to spread the word more, dude, because I know there's people listening to this podcast that are struggling with addiction, man. And I know, like, I just know there's so many people that you wouldn't even expect. There's people that you know in your life that are hiding it from you. Even if they're acquaintances, it's out there. So I want to get it out there more and just help people. So doing something like a motivational speaking thing, right up my alley there. Yeah, I think, man, I do see myself doing that in the future.
You'd be great.
What about you, Eric?
A non-career win?
Yeah.
I'd say getting married is probably the easy answer for me. I've talked pretty openly with my wife about it. When I was younger, I just never thought that was in the cards for me. I was like, I'm so focused on doing this as a career. I'm just going to like do this thing.
It was like the conversation in Whiplash where he's like, you're going to learn to resent me.
Dude, I was totally like that when I was younger. And just when I met my wife, my now wife, it was like, oh, you just kind of fit into this thing that I'm doing, and I can kind of have my cake and eat it too. It was just like a really powerful thing to be like, okay, I can do this thing that has all this stigma of like, you're going to just go out and like party and you're going to be alone, you know? and I think that's like it was like a really terrible stigma that is super common in the music industry. And so to be able to kind of like find a person that fit into my life was like, it's like, oh wow, this is incredible.
Well, and there's also like, you also disassociate from that stigma because you don't drink.
Sure.
You're doing the opposite of what people think people are doing on the road.
Yeah. To even put another spin on the whole thing, what I thought was interesting was actually getting married, I think propelled my career or my drive for my career so much more. Because then it was like, oh, I have to make this work for my family now. Like there's
it's not just me anymore.
Yeah. Like if I'm going to go on the road, I'm going to be away from my wife for however many days. So that like means more, that has more value. And I don't feel guilty about being like that. That has a cost to it. And I either accept that cost or I don't. So I think jumping into that was a really great thing. Obviously, you know, for having met my wife, it was great. But even just on a personal level and on a career level, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's a win. Being a traveling musician, man, it can be hard.
Yeah.
But it's the dream. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. And you know, if you can find someone to support that, that's what we're all looking for, really. To be honest, if you're a traveling musician.
Yeah.
Taking on the dub, brother.
Let's get down to brass tacks. This is what we need. I'm assuming people know what I'm going to say. It's just therapy, you know, and really figuring out myself and knowing because most of the anxiety and depression was from the shame of not understanding why I do what I do and tendencies that are actually more normal than I believe, and just getting rid of my own stigma in my head of like who I am. And I think that's, dude, if I could have the best gig in the world, that was something I've always dreamed of, but gone back to how I maybe mentally was 5 years ago versus where I am right now with my clarity, no fucking way. You know, dude. It's like so important to me. So important to me.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. Especially being on the road, you got to take care of yourself, and you got to be sharp and ready, and you know, playing every night, dude. Actually, let me ask you guys a question. I'm sorry, I'm kind of turning the wheel here, but
please, dude, you're like snare drums. What's your favorite?
Yeah, right. DW or Pro, dude? No.
What's the best rudiment?
Oh goodness, bro. No, what if? Okay, say you get a call from a gig a massive gig you can't say no to, but they want you to learn 30 songs. You got 4 days or something like crazy, right? You got crunch time. They're going to fly you out. How do you approach that? What do you do? That's what I want to know from both of you.
Yeah. Well, what I would do is if they were to the point they're like, we need you 30 songs, 4 days. I'd be like, I'm your fucking guy. I'm going to have an iPad on the floor next to me, and I'm going to have everything, all the charts loaded up on the iPad, and I need to have the tech be able to like monitor it so that he knows that it's on the right page, doesn't move over. But I'm going to be there for you. I'll play it. Obviously, I'm going to say yes to the gig if I know that I can physically play it. So if it's Meshuggah, I'm like, no. But if it's a band that's in my wheelhouse, then yeah. But I would just be upfront with them, be like, I'm your fucking guy, but 3 days notice, like you gotta. This is what's going to happen. The audience will never know. I usually play with my head down anyways, with hair in my face. No one can tell. I'm going to stop there. That's what I would do, because I wouldn't try and get too cute with it. I would just chart them. They'd be there. And then on the flight there, literally, I would cancel every plan. I would stop texting everyone, and I would just put that playlist on rotation, and I would sleep with it. It would be those 30 songs.
Dude.
Non-stop.
I wouldn't do anything. If I had kids, I would ignore them. If one of my kids fell down, I'd be like, figure it out.
And stand up, sister. Get up.
The next step is you stand up. You decide.
But you're full confidence. You're like, I'm your man. Send the songs. I'm doing it.
What's worse, fucking up the show or wondering what could have happened?
Missing the opportunity. Right.
Yeah, it's the being 80 and wondering what would have happened. So I'd definitely rather fuck up.
Totally.
Live with that.
That's that preparation meets opportunity hypothetical right there. You know? Yeah, I'm with Ben. I would totally jump on it. I would give no illusions of like, oh, like maybe this is gonna be tough. I'd be like, no, I can do it. And then in my head, I'd be like, this is gonna be a tricky one.
But do you feel that, I think we talked about it with Gunnar and you, Eric, about there is something that happens that your brain flips on and your mind goes, we understand for the good of the whole being that we need to fucking go on all pistons right now. You only get 5 of them in your entire life, but this is one of them.
It's like a golden ticket, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a bail you out.
Yeah, I think there's something. I think a deadline is probably one of the most motivating things on the planet. You know, when you put yourself in that situation of you have 4 days, then your brain is just boom.
It works differently in that mode.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
I mean, I have so many students and friends who are like, yeah, I'm like, I have this project and, you know, we want to start playing shows, but, you know, I don't want to book it until we're ready. And I just tell them you should book a show, because there's nothing that's going to get you more ready than like knowing, okay, we have a show booked November 1st. So we have to make sure that we're ready by X date.
When do you feel the most yourself behind the kit? And when do you feel like an imposter?
Oh man, that's such a great question. Sometimes I feel like an imposter when I'm live, dude, like playing live. But that is okay. That's how I was gonna say. That's when I feel most at home, when I'm playing a show.
Okay.
That's where I feel like I'm in my element. But sometimes
it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Why?
There's so many levels to it.
Are you saying with the same band you feel like an imposter, or is it like sometimes with certain bands you feel it and sometimes with certain bands you don't?
I think a big factor for me is if I'm friends with the people I'm with on stage. Like if I truly know those people, then I know what I can do to make them respond to my playing and vice versa. And it's just kind of this free form communication where no one's like stressed out about stepping on each other's toes. Like for a lot of the bands I play with now, I think back to those first shows where I was brought on. It's like, man, I felt like such an imposter playing with the hardcore band that I play with now. Like those first shows were so tough for me because I was like, I don't really play heavy music or super fast punk rock. But now I'm like, oh, this is my bread and butter. And I think so much of that is just because I'm good friends with those guys at this point. I know what they expect of me and vice versa.
I mean, I'm right up that same alley. Yeah, it definitely depends, you know, like when I'm with my friends and with my boys, I guess I don't really feel it often, but if I'm doing certain gigs, it depends on the music. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird to even think that you can feel like that on the drums, you know, because I'm so comfortable with drums. It's like what I do. It's been in my life, my whole, as with you guys too. It's such a big part of our lives. It's mental. Yeah. It's just a mental thing, I think, and how important your mindset is in the game too.
Yeah, and I think I'll also add the slight caveat that there's definitely genres that I will forever feel like an imposter in. Like if someone called me for a jazz gig, I'm feeling like a poser the whole night. It doesn't matter who I'm playing with.
Yeah.
How good I may actually sound. It's not a language I'm comfortable speaking, so I'm going to be like, I'm an imposter the whole night.
Same. Or if I'm trying to do something too cool on Instagram, I feel like I'm like, stop doing that. You know.
For me, I always think about voice and perspective on the kit, because I play a lot of gigs where I'm paid to learn a song and execute that song. But when I'm like, I just want to say something on the drums, like, what do I say? Like, I don't know how to talk sometimes. And that's the times when I feel like an imposter of like, I'm not even a real drummer, you know, like sometimes like we had like last month, I consciously took 2.5 weeks off the drums because for a bunch of reasons, I just didn't want to go organize my practice spot. And so I just left them unset up for 2.5 weeks. And I felt so guilty about that. Like I'm in the prime of my time in LA. Like I should be hustling so much more than I am. I should be in the practice space 8 hours a day. You know, am I going to wake up and be like, you took 2 weeks off? You were living in LA? Like, what are you doing? Why are you even here? It's got really deep there. Sorry, guys.
No, dude, that's so relatable, dude. Are you kidding me? I don't practice enough for shit, dude. In fact, now that I'm thinking of that question in a different way, because there is multiple ways you can approach that question. I was thinking of more of a like just the mental side of it, like when I just feel like uncomfortable in my own skin. But
sure.
if I'm in a room with a bunch of like high level drummers, it's like it's like, I don't know, I'm gonna make a fool out of myself in there. I feel like I'm fake. I feel like I don't belong with them, you know?
Yeah,
absolutely.
But you gotta just put that to the side because it doesn't matter, dude. It's who cares? You know, it's just an instrument.
Do you feel like you know what is authentically you these days?
Yes, dude. Yeah. And I always will just be more authentic about it. Like, especially if I'm going to do a YouTube video where the purpose of the YouTube video is just me. It's just talk, like a podcast, if you will. I'm just commenting on stuff. I don't have to know knowledge to comment on shit. And that's how I approach a lot of those videos. So no, I don't care. I'm not about to look it up. I'll let the comment. In fact, I want to be wrong and I want comments to correct me. And, you know, so being authentic and just not putting in too much work, man. It goes back to that whole idea we were talking about. When you put in too much work, it hurts you. And when you just whip something up. So that's what I try to do with all that. Just whip it up and never think too deep on it. And just, you know, I do have some yes and no buttons though. I do, but I don't think of it that much, you know?
Your videos are so funny, man. The way your brain works is so fucking funny in the best possible way.
I love the community I'm building and like the vibes I'm kind of putting out. Like someone recently said in a comment section on a YouTube video, and it was like, dude, I love how I feel like you're just talking to me. Like he said it in a way that was like, I feel like I'm just in the room and you're just talking to us. Like we're just here. And like, that's the vibe I get, like watching your YouTube video. And like that comment got a bunch of likes and people were commenting on that. And I thought it was cool. I'm like, cool. That's what I want. I want to just be like real and authentic. And I'm talking to the camera as if I'm just like talking to my friend. So it's not like I'm trying to overproduce this, you know, today we're on, you know, we're going to do or whatever.
Well, I so appreciate that you're not overly delicate about things too. Like when you talk about like people's setups, you'll roast it, but it's not in a way that feels like mean, you know? It's just all in good fun where, again, like if we were all in the same room, no one would be like upset about it. It's not like you're talking behind anyone's back. You're talking to everyone's face about it. And it's fun.
Dude, I'm so happy I can give off. I love that you just said that because that's what I wanted to do because I don't want to be like, I want it to be, it's clearly comedy. It's a joke. Yeah. That's number one. This is not that deep. You can set up your drum kit however you want, and I'm not going to give a shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely don't care, bro.
For everyone listening, he does give a shit. He was joking about that.
Yeah, if your snare's tilted forward, get the hell out of here. Slap the mic on you. Wait, hold on. So you were saying Eric has some hot takes on some drumming takes or something?
I would just post a question, just open-ended, just like, what are your hottest takes about drums or music in general? And then people would write in comments and then I would respond to them. And it was just like a fun way to kind of ruffle some feathers without getting like overly heated, just causing dialogues about whatever, you know?
Sure. No, dude, I love that. I love when I see drummers doing that, posting that, whether I agree or not even, I don't care. I love everyone has their own voice and their own point of view, and it's really doesn't matter. Like someone made a video the other day talking about holding your double bass pedals in the middle, and it was like absolutely not that you're gonna break blah blah blah. And it's like, I love that they're saying that because that's their take, but in my mind, I don't give a shit. I'm grabbing it by the bar. I don't care. I've been doing that for 25 years, dude. I never once had my pedals break. It's a metal. It's fucking metal, brother. What's it? You know what I'm saying? How's it? What's it bending? Like, but I understand you don't want the joints to like. I'm not an idiot. I understand, but in practice, in real life, I ain't doing nothing. You're fine. But you can have that take, and I love it because it's like spit your voice, whatever.
Yeah.
Slap the mic.
So that's cool. I love spicy takes, dude.
Is that comment about people saying that they're receiving your videos like you're in the room with them and they love it? Is that similar, or would that be more important to you than if someone's like, dude, he's a great drummer?
Oh, dude, that's such a good question because they're both up there, you know? I want both of them to do good. But I know that they don't always, and that's okay. I mean, that's part of being a content creator. Like, you're gonna get people. In fact, you want more diversity to get bigger because that's really what you that's what you want. But if I were to put one ahead of the other, probably my playing.
Really?
You know, I think that would mean a little more because I gotta remember, like, that is what this is about. Even though I love talking to people and making people happy, it all did come from the drum. So I feel like that might nudge it out a little more. Because I can take people if people are like, oh, you're a dude, you know, you say brother too much, you're annoying. I used to like you, now you're annoying. Like, okay, dude, I've been seeing y'all's comments for 5 years. Like,
yeah.
Okay, but the drumming, man. I feel like the drumming might sting a little more, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I guess I would rather I need more validation on my drumming than I do on who I am as a person. I'm a little more like fine with, you know. So I guess that's the less negative thing I need, you know.
There are a lot of people that would go the other way there because, you know, as humans, we care what people think of us. That's still a factor. But once it's happened so much and it's like numb to it, if you're on the internet so much, you get numb to the shit. But yeah.
It's gotten better over time for you?
Yeah, it's gotten better. Facebook, though, they come at you. And I hate all the fucking boomers constantly say, anytime you got a moon gel on your drum, it's learn how to tune your drums.
Oh yeah. The best drum sound is wide open.
Dude, it's funny when they say, if it were tuned right, you wouldn't need that moon gel. What if I want it dampened, though? You understand? What if I fucking want it dampened, bro? Then what? How do you tune? What are you tuning? Like, they only want it wide open. They won't accept your way. They don't want your, you know, take it off. I fucking hate that take. It's the dumbest take of all time. It's nothing to do with tuning. You tune your drum, right? That's the first thing you do. Then you fuck with it from there.
Your wife didn't leave you because I put a moon gel on my tom. It's not about us, bro.
Oh my God. Facebook needs help over there. Instagram's super cool, I feel like, for the most part. And YouTube is pretty sick too. I feel like YouTube is more of like your core following, I think. I don't know. They're all cool. Yeah, I like them.
Well, let's go to a spicy take. Because I'm not sure if we've talked about this, but this is not my opinion, but grip doesn't matter.
I think there's a line at some point. I think for the most part it doesn't, but I mean, you know what? It actually doesn't. Whatever's comfortable for you, I think, just trumps it. I think that just nudges out any other argument. Like, whatever's comfortable for you. If you're playing and you're working, like, it doesn't matter. If I open my eyes and then you were holding it messed up, but you were playing, what does it matter? You know?
Yeah, it's definitely like a yes and no thing, because obviously, like, grip is important in terms of like making the drum sound good and you not hurting yourself. But I think really those are the only two things that matter. I always tell students, if you're not hurting yourself and if you sound good, then I don't care how you're holding the stick. If you go French grip on the ride cymbal and you're German on the snare drum and you're American on the top, like traditional on the floor tom, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you sound good and you're not hurting yourself, or I guess the instrument as well, then who cares?
That's a solid take. It is a yes and no. It's definitely a yes and no, because there's injuries that can happen, and it's no fun getting them wrist pains. And if you could just make an adjustment in grip and avoid massive problems, yes, it absolutely matters. But if your body is accustomed to a certain way, and you're a specific person that you're like, if you got fucking bent wrist, brother, and you're playing like that, it might work, you know? So case by case, kinda, but I hate traditional grip, dude. I don't care. No, I can't stand looking at it. It looks weird.
It looks weird.
I can't do it. That's probably why.
Would you give everyone a 0 out of 10 if in their picture they had a hand that was traditional somewhere in the photo?
Oh, forget it. If it's a left-handed drum kit and you're doing traditional, forget it. That's a 0.
I think every drummer should investigate techniques and get them to the point where you feel that you can talk with them. Because how would you know? I mean, what if, Joe, what if you can speak what you actually want to say as a traditional drummer, and you just do this kind of like, and that becomes your unique thing and your take on music, whatever. But like, that's what I've been exploring lately, is grips that I know probably won't work, but I'm like, what kind of a creative person am I if I'm like, I'll paint with every paintbrush except that one because I think that looks weird. Not to be on my soapbox, but that's what I'm telling myself,
Yeah. No, it's a fair point. And you know what? Now I'm going to even think of it like that. And I'm glad I talked to you about that, because instead of just clowning it nonstop, I might invest a little time to explore, because it is good to do that on the drum kit and grow on the instrument. And as an artist, as much as I joke around, I do take it serious. And I practice. I'm a touring. I want to be a professional musician at all times. Like, that's what I am. So having fun is just the side thing. But yeah, you got to have that quality. So
I've like almost stepped away from working on books like Future Sounds and stuff temporarily, because I'm like, I just want to be able to play an eighth note groove, and because that feel good, because that's who the people want to play with. If you're a good drummer and you're a good hang, sure, then you'll make it in this world, quote unquote. But if you also feel good, that's when you make a career.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to focus on right now, because I still feel that the sound of my drums, Max talked about it on one of our podcasts, Eric, about how sometimes he would thinking he's playing so soft, but when he listens back, his playing still feels too heavy. It's this last few days I've been getting very ADHD about it.
That's actually exactly what I was going to ask you about, is like in relation to those most recent videos that you posted. So you're playing Eve 6, hitting really hard, and then you're doing that John Lennon song, and it's way more laid back. How has your grip changed, or has your grip changed at all in order to get those sounds? And if it has changed, what did you do?
I mean, they are completely different grips. Yeah, with Eve 6, I'm still working on it, but it's all over the place. But with the softer stuff, yeah, it is the first little index guy. I'm trying to be as loose as possible. And even on that video, when I listen back, I'm like, fuck, I could be half as loud in the hi-hat and still make it sound good. At certain levels, you'd be surprised how loose you can be with the kit and how soft you can play, and that's how you get the best drum sounds, which is very counterintuitive. They sound massive when you don't play that hard.
Yeah. Especially like if front of house is on point, like if you're playing a show, even though it's hard to keep it there because adrenaline kicks in and you start smashing. But yeah, I forget, someone said it too. Oh man, some legend in some video, right? Some like old school drummer dude, but highly respected dude.
Yeah.
Was like spitting that take that like, look, you don't gotta hit him so hard. I think it was even Todd Zuckerman, which he's awesome. It might have been him, but yeah, playing him softer can really do a lot. Even though he's pretty fierce on kit too, though. But he knows how he's hitting the drums right,
Well, and I'm sure, I mean, you can't have a drum podcast without bringing up When the Levee Breaks, at least once. So I'm sure if people saw how soft, or not how soft, but how not hard John Bonham is playing that doon, ka, dude. I mean, he's probably just doing a pretty fucking
mild groove,
chill groove. But because they can spike the pre's a little bit, they can bring out a little more of that warmth and tone, and then compress that.
There's so much more to do with it because they just hit the drum the way it should be, the way it should. Whereas like when I'm playing live, I'm not. I'm smashing. It's hard to maintain that, dude.
Oh, absolutely. It's the hardest.
It's so hard to maintain. I'm gripping so tight. Next thing you know, the stick's at the end of my hand.
Little buddy, we're almost to the bridge.
Yeah.
I also wonder how this relates to stick size too. I've always been a big believer in like, I can get everything done with one stick and just getting comfortable with that same stick. It's just like, for me, developing that control to play soft or to play loud. But then there's so many people who preach like, oh, you should use like 7As if you're going to play soft and 2Bs if you're going to play loud. Is that something that you guys think about in relation to just sound quality, achieving different sounds? Whatever.
I do. So referencing my most recent videos, Live with Eve 6, I use the Vic Firth Rocks. I don't know in relation to the X55B or Extreme 5B, whatever, but I can just be loose and the stick does the work. But yeah, with the softer stuff, I definitely use softer sticks. I just play differently, because I'm in a different mindset. Like my body's moving differently. I'd rather just the stick match the vibe I'm going for than to try and morph the stick into something to do everything. But like with Eve 6, even though there are softer songs, for that set, my entire stick bag is just Vic Firth Rocks. If I'm trying to get in a different mindset as a drummer, which those 2 videos are, then yeah, I'll switch the sticks.
I love that. That's such a good point too, because dude, I'll have the exact same stick in my bag no matter what I'm playing. But to think that, on this instrument is a very dynamic instrument and there's many different avenues, many different genres. And if you're creative and you're doing many, if you're a versatile drummer, that's a great idea to have many different size sticks in the bag, have a pair of mallets in there, like have, depending on what it's calling for, but playing a lighter song using lighter sticks, playing a heavier song using heavier sticks, that makes sense to me. And like, I totally get that. I don't do that, but I get it.
Do you guys think about stick tips, like shapes? Sorry, I'm 5 years old.
What was that? Could you repeat the question, please?
Let me do it again. I've been in a Turkish bathhouse.
Ben couldn't help himself on that one.
So on Instagram, we did this stupid meme about a yak that was shaved, and I was like, oh, round tip sticks. And so because of that, I want to make sure that's how they were called. Like, does this joke actually make sense? So I looked it up, and there's this video of, there's barrel, acorn, teardrop, rounded, and then there's 5 main ones, and he demonstrated how each of them react differently to the head, more surface area, whatever. And I was like, I don't hear much of a difference. I'm sure it was great.
Yeah, I feel like, to me, dude, that absolutely is so completely irrelevant. But I guess my main mindset is always I'm playing for me, and I'm playing my art. And whatever gear brings out the best in me, whether it's a small, the acorn tip, I get exploring all that, but ultimately it's me, and it's just give me the sticks and I'm going to speak, what I'm saying? Just give me the sticks.
Sure.
It could be 1-2B and 1-7A. I can play and I can get across what I'm feeling. That's always standing true to me. So I don't care, but I totally get it being real, but can anyone hear like you said, you didn't hear the difference? No one knows, dude.
I like the old drummer for Black Sabbath because he played barrel tips. And that's the show. If you're listening on a platform that allows ratings and reviews, do that. It helps more people find the show, so it'll get bigger and better, and hopefully I'll have a chance to sell out one day. But you'll be an OG listener that can brag to all your friends. Anyways, why don't you go and check us out at bigfatsnaredrum.com and follow us on all the socials. Just search for Big Fat Snare Drum and you will find us. The show is edited in part using iZotope RX Audio Editor. It's amazing, so go check that out at iZotope.com. And thanks again to Gunnar Olsen for the theme music. Bye.